Gotta dream big, gotta dream big. Gotta dream big, gotta dream big. Gotta dream big, gotta dream big. Gotta dream big.
Who will stop me now? I always been hip-hop consistent. From clothes to my flow, with your rap exquisite. Plenty years doing music, I'm an all-star in it. Like if rappers be-bomb, playing 48 minutes.
Welcome to DreamBIG HipHop. We're back at it. We're not letting go. We're gonna keep this moving. I have a super special guest here. We're gonna get it going. His name is Ricchard Carter. This is a Passaic, New Jersey edition. I mean, we got to give props to where we're from, where we're at. He is somebody that's actually special for a lot of different reasons. So we're gonna introduce him, have him bring him in, let him get started. And Ricchard, I'm gonna start this with when was your dream big moment in your career, as far as coming from the inner city, a small town in New Jersey, to college, to professional, to career-wise, where you're at right now?
Wow, first, man, let me just say I appreciate you checking me out, man. It's been a long
Yeah,
time.
definitely. I don't want it to sound like an interview. This is more of a conversation of old friends.
Big shout out to you, man, for doing big things and for us finally reuniting since, kindergarten?
Since kindergarten.
That's crazy. It's over 30-something years of friendship here. But, man, when you think about big dreams, I think for myself, always just had a vision, I say way back when. Yeah. We used to do the little simple relay races from, the street corner to the end to the next street corner, as well as doing the little Olympic days, running on dirt,
Running on dirt, 40-yard dash, and you always won. And then that escalated to a high school movement where you were called Sugarfoot, Sweetfoot.
Yeah,
right?
Sweetfoot.
Yeah. Shout out to the Canine Posse, because that's where you grew up in. I moved out to Miami at that point, but you kept it going. And then the Passaic Indians, history, sports, everybody, you made a post the other day on Facebook that really touched a lot of people.
Right.
So can you speak on that?
Well, one of the things that you can see with just the world that we're in right now, man, you hate to see just how much hate is going through, regardless of what political party you're in. I think there's a blame on both sides. I think in regards to how we're relating to our children, supporting our kids and things of that nature. So one of the things I made a conscious effort to do on anything that I post on social media is about love.
Right.
And so being from the background of Passaic, where, you see myself being African American, you being Colombian, we have friends that was Puerto Rican, Jamaican, Trinidad, white,
all in the same time.
Everybody, right? And I think at a young age we learned that we had to understand that we had to all live together. We had to support one another. We took it as straight up as a village type of environment. And so one of the things is I realized that if I'm going to share anything, I just want to share those values that was taught to us at an early age about uplifting the community, loving one another, and also teaching our children the way we were taught.
Exactly.
I think a lot of our generation has lost that.
The OG don't speak on it. They don't check the young ones. But before you get there, what was the transition, let's say, from an athlete in high school to an athlete in college? Give us a quick nutshell of how you were exposed to a different culture shock, going to the University of Iowa, and then taking that to the next professional level to where you're at now.
Well, I think one of the big things was leaving New Jersey to go to Iowa. That was huge. One is I could have went to pretty much any school on the East Coast, and being able to say I'm leaving a predominantly, Hispanic and black culture to go to an area that's less than 2% black.
Right.
There's a lot of eyes looking at me like, come on, dude, what you doing? But one of the things I learned by making that transition was that I met, teammates that didn't know me, teammates that may have never really socialized with black people, but they treated me as if it was me and you.
Right.
It was a brotherhood from day one. And that right there had a lasting impression on me. From obviously going to workouts we did, but it became like we hung out at the bars, we hung out at each other. I'll go to their houses on the weekend and hang out with them and see how they was raised.
So as a sports athlete environment, the camaraderie became a brotherhood.
Oh, without doubt.
And you guys grew from adolescent, teenage years to young men playing sports.
Without doubt.
Did you learn at that level how to also give back to the community on a different knowledge?
Yeah, because one of the things at Iowa that they made us do was obviously give back. Being that Iowa didn't have any professional teams, we were looked upon as the professional team. So we were always in the community, always at the hospital, always at the schools, whether it's autographs, whether it's just spending time there, whether it's going to visit the elderly, things of that nature.
Right.
And so in my mind, I was like, you know what? As I get older, I'm going to do the same thing. That's all I knew.
Right.
You know, and plus having parents that really, I mean, you know, with our parents going to St. Anthony, they had to volunteer for everything.
Yeah,
you know,
tuition was volunteer.
Exactly. So I think seeing that environment made me realize that this is what I need to do.
Right.
You know, and it goes back to saying that the things that our parents taught us became a foundation of who we are today.
Exactly.
And giving back to the community.
Well, you know what? At that level, as far as a high school athlete, everybody in town knows your name. You're gaining momentum. You're going to that next level, University of Iowa. Dream Big sets the platform for a Dream Big moment where the person, as an adolescent, whether you have the have-nots or you're the privileged, you take it to the next plateau.
Right.
So now, at the University of Iowa, do you take it to the next level, to the NFL? Do you take it to that spot? Or what?
Wow, so what happened with that was, you know, I was a decent athlete in Iowa. Definitely didn't have the notoriety like I had, you know,
In Passaic.
Right. You know, and I like bringing this up because most people look at it as a failure. But as I grew into it, I realized that it's something like to teach kids, you know. One of the things that I believe that I didn't do in college that I did in high school was really work on my craft.
Right.
I kind of allowed the things that I did in high school to say, oh, well,
Because you were young?
Yeah, young and mature, and just thought that what I did in high school would transition over.
Right.
Now, it did to a certain extent, but later on in my college career, I realized that, okay, you got to dig a little deeper. You got to, you know, work out a little bit harder. You can't just rely on the one or two things you did in high school. And then, so by then, that's when I felt like, you know what, man, maybe going to NFL could be possible. Then I got injured. You know, and so then you see at that moment, like, wow, you know, dreams are shattered. You know, what you gonna do now? But the big thing was that I always stayed on path to get my degree.
It's a lesson learned.
Oh, without a doubt. And I think that's something that I like to really portray to a lot of these athletes today, especially the younger generation, is to realize that, you know what, football can be taken away from you in a minute, a second. You know, I was having my best year as a senior, and next thing you know, the first play of the game, the third game of the year, boom, torn ACL. You know, then I go home.
And what year is this?
This is my senior year, 97.
97.
97. I go home, open up my mailbox, and I got letters from 3 NFL teams like, hey, we're going to see you in the spring, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there, remember tears coming down my eyes, I'm on crutches. And so what I did at that moment, before cell phones, you know, my parents just called and said, hey, we was watching the game. We saw you got hurt. You know, they're saying you're not coming back. You know, what happened? And so now I'm talking to my mother in tears, and my mother's crying. We having that conversation like almost when your parents whoop you and you like sniffling, oh my God, I can't, and she's talking to me the same way.
Right.
And,
like when we was in Sister Maureen's principal's office, and
yes.
we had the
Oh my God.
and your father came in with a
You remember that?
I sure do remember that. Tell my kids that. We went in detention for a whole day. Ricchard, myself, Michael Frost, and Willie Nunn.
Yes, that was crazy.
And Ricchard, just to make a quick comment of the history. And Ricchard's dad came in with a black cable and said, if you ever bring me back here, I'm gonna be you and Paul. I don't really know if he said Paul, but I took it like he said Paul.
Yeah, it was like all your friends. You and all your friends.
For real.
And so that mindset, so here's a good story of my dad on that and to how this worked out. So I'm on the phone, both crying, and my mom gives the phone to my dad. And my dad's like, what's going on? And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? You know I'm hurt, I'm blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna play no more. And he said, like, I remember like it was yesterday, he was like, where's your faith?
Yes.
Where's your faith? And I'm sitting there like, what? And I hung up the phone.
And that's Mr. Carter from Summer Street. You have to
Summer
recognize.
Street, yeah, man. So I hung up the phone. And I was like, I ain't got time. But at that point, I continued to rehab. And every day at rehab, I heard his voice, where's your faith? And an injury that normally takes a year to get back in the field, I was back in 3 weeks.
Okay.
And I owe that to him.
Definitely.
Because the mindset was that if you believe strong enough, you can make it happen. And so I was able to work out for some teams, and it didn't work out, you know, for 2 reasons. I believe the injury as well as just not having the grand career.
Right.
But when you really sit back and think about a kid from New Jersey who didn't know, you know, too much about anything but knew the tradition of football,
right,
but used that path to get me where I'm at. I mean, got a degree.
That's a plateau that a lot of people don't even reach.
Oh, no.
And that's why it's so important for Dream Big HipHop podcast to set that. Because it's not about winning the championship, it's about having that spark and continuing and having faith. So when I was able to have that talk with you and I said, you know what, Ricchard, at this moment, is perfect to speak on that. I don't know if you've ever done it before, but we appreciate it, and I definitely appreciate it.
Oh no, man, this is super great. I think this platform is great. I think it gives opportunities not only for the big stars, but for someone else. But I think a lot of our kids always see the headliners, right? But there's so many people that don't make it to the professional level, but can still have a lasting impact on our society.
Which brings us now to you evolved to Houston.
Right, live in Houston now.
You live in Houston, and where are you at right now? I know you were a heavy community
participant. So my full-time job, I work for Johnson & Johnson. Been with them for the past 14, 15 years. Worked in from the diabetes division to the OR, to now working with mental health. That has become very passionate. And a quick story on how I got to that was, I know you remember when in Houston, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, that officer was shot and killed at a gas station. So that gas station was pretty much a mile away from my house. And it was a gas station where my kids and my wife go often to get gas. So it clicked on me like, dude, like that could have been my family there.
Anybody.
You know, that could have been, you know, whoever, close friends of mine. And so I made that transition because I was always just a believer that anything I'm going to do got to have a meaning towards it. I got into the diabetes division, obviously, because diabetes is something that affects African Americans and minorities. Got into the OR division because obviously everyone somewhere gets surgery. And now into mental health being such a prominent issue. And people who have mental health don't get the same love as somebody who may have cancer. You have cancer, everybody feels sad for you. You got mental health, everybody's scared of you. And so you got to find a way in order to bridge that gap. And so with my company, I do that. Then I transitioned to, I used to be a teacher. And I
Which is something that I knew, which I wanted to touch on.
So I used to teach. I taught, came back home. So after NFL dream was over, I went back to Passaic. And I said, you know what, I want to give that to my community. And one of the things I did that for, not because I was a great student, but I wanted to be someone.
Like Coach Weiss.
Oh man, Coach Weiss, I still talk to him today. You know, and learn from someone like him, or Coach Domino, you know, rest in peace, Coach McCran, those individuals. But that really helped me shape how I taught, because I wanted to be more like them. There wasn't a lot of teachers that motivated and encouraged kids that look like me and you. So I went back to give them that spark that was given to me. And then from there, after I transitioned to teaching, I got into the J&J. But I also, when I made that transition, I do a lot with my church. So that's where that community really branches out, where I do so much with them in regards to really helping out the community. At my church, the Church Without Walls, we see over 500 youth, you know, on a given week. And it's always about the community being unashamed for who you believe in, what you believe in, and just always doing right, even when wrong is standing right in front of you.
Of course, and for today's time, for you to be that individual and have that experience where you can talk and people relate to it is very important. So that's why I appreciate that you're actually giving a moment to speak on it, because we're able to elaborate more on a visual level of what you did, what you're doing, and how it's affecting the Houston community. Being with the hurricane, being with a lot of things that happen, you know, individuals like yourself, citizens like yourself is needed. And not just in Houston, but it's a seed that's being planted. So now we're able to discuss this and maybe continue on where we can spark more people to do the same.
Yeah, man, that's what it's all about. I think you need to use this platform to get people to speak up. You know, to be able to say, like, what can we do? You know, the old proverb is that, you know, it takes a village. You know, and that's the mindset I have. You know, because I look at it as like, these individuals that I'm helping mold and shape and mentor will one day be friends with my kids. Right? And so I heard someone mention that you know, the number one role model in a lot of kids' lives are their friends' parents. Because their friends' parents decide what their friends do, right? So if I have my circle of friends that I'm close to, as well as their kids that maybe I'm not, but they see an impact of what I'm doing, that can, you know, shed light in regards to how that whole group come together and be the best that they can be.
And it's so special to hear that, because being that we known each other for many years, but we're so different. And the people that you came up with, the canine people, which were also my friend when we were elementary, you know, it's such a vast crowd. So for you to move on from there, now you have a different brotherhood with the Iowa players. You always seem to be in the middle of something, and that respect is needed. That love and appreciation of what you're doing it has to be applauded.
Oh.
So I think at this moment, what do you have in Houston right now that is in full swing, that is motivating kids, and that's bringing you to that next level that you didn't think you were going to be at?
Wow, that's a good question. I think that, so we're right, we got the K9s right, my Iowa, so my K9 boys, give a quick shout out, Kev, you know, Ty, JP, Suge, those are my boys. And we still talk to this day, every day. Then I got all my Iowa boys, and the reason I got to Houston was my roommate, David Gibson, was from Houston,
Okay.
so I got down.
So that wasn't
now,
planned?
No, not at all.
Okay.
And now I got a group too that David was a part of too that we call the Circle, where it's a group of husbands and wives, but mostly, when we look at the fellas, where it's Tyrone, Ken, Jared, and Percy, Joe, and we're all together. But one of the things we do is we try to be really conscious of helping, shaping, molding young men.
Exactly.
And uplifting family. So that's something that we do not only in the church, but outside of the church. Got a big brother named Bo Porter, who was the manager for the Houston Astros, brother from New Jersey, from Newark. And so he's someone that we go out in the community with his foundation, really shaping, molding, and now he's working right now for the Major League Baseball. Something like in-house or whatever, but he's doing, big things, and
he's somebody that's involved.
Oh, big time. And for someone with his status, being, the first African American and youngest major league manager, then working for the Atlanta Braves, now doing what he's doing now in the community with Major League Baseball, is someone that is not only a big brother, but a role model, because he's not only putting his face, but he's putting his money and his dollars, out into the community of helping kids that were like me or you back in the day. So I'm a part of that, helping him. Then my buddy Tyrone Smith, who has a nonprofit, First and Goal, where he goes out into each community. So every other week or so, we're in somebody's school, helping them, shaping them, teaching them how to be the better them. And so we're not only doing it with the kids, but we're also doing it with the administrators as well.
And that's what it's about.
So when you say that, man, I mean, and then you add in what I'm doing with my kids, so I'm giving back and doing something you're passionate about. It ain't work, man.
Not only that, we didn't learn to sit around when we was growing up.
Yeah.
So people say that to me too. I know this is your interview. This is Ricchard Carter's interview. With all love and respect, but they say, why am I so busy? You know why? Because we're not there yet as a whole, as a people. The struggle is still going, but the spark has been given. So the Dream Big stage has been set where people can speak on it, and now the next person will grow.
Right.
So I love the fact that you're part of a new circle. I'm part of a new circle. It's called Dream Big. I did my own steps. I follow my own lane. Shout out to EFN Norway for Drink Champ for motivating me to get on this level.
Right.
But the love is how you have other people around you where it's more of a tag mode. It's not a single person raising the flag to keep going. The attributes that everybody's showing all together is feeding the young, it's feeding the people, showing them example that it is a possibility. Just like Mr. Carter said, where's your faith? The faith is you. We're living it every single day. So I like the fact that you're busy. I want to be busy with you. Now we're at that point where we can grow and mutually become something together.
Without a doubt, man. I think, I always joke and say, I'll get enough sleep when I die.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
Sleep
said
is
that
overrated,
once.
man.
I said that once myself years ago.
Sleep is overrated,
Well,
man.
yeah.
You got to go out and really make a difference, man. And so I'm really trying to grab a hold of any platform I can in order to just leave my legacy. You know what I mean? I want my kids and my wife to be able to, when I'm not here, meet people and be like, you know what, your dad touched me. And not for me to get the glory, but to, get the glory to God, but also just to really change this world, man. I think if people always ask me, like, man, why you have conversations with people that may don't look like me about what's going on? And I always say, like, if they don't hear another side of me, who is black, who's from the inner city, who went to a predominantly white school, who's now, in the community doing things, then they're going to allow CNN, Fox, and MSN to be able to direct their thoughts. And they need to be able to see that there are brothers like us who ain't out doing stuff that, you know, so-called
Not the negative.
Yeah, nah, man. And this doesn't mean we're perfect in any type of way.
I'm far from perfect.
No, nowhere near. But what we're trying to do is really have an impact on where we live, not only in our community, but we can branch out and expand our territory. I think that's what we've all been called to do in some type of way.
So as I was driving up here from Kendall, you know, I'm thinking I would say Ricchard Carter.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to say Ricchard Carter, but it just goes hand in hand. That's how it was every morning.
Yes,
you know, Ricchard Carter, present. Paul and Donald, present.
My man.
So it's all love. But I was thinking, you know what? People might see this. People gonna see it. Let me not say that.
Yeah.
And they're gonna say, I want to sit with Paul. Or maybe they might say, why Paul sitting with Ricchard?
Right.
It has to happen.
It has to happen.
It has to happen. Whether I would have been in Texas, whether you're in Miami as you are now. You know, there might be other people that are moving along, other people that have entrepreneur, you know, vibes, people that are trying to make a stand. Good for you. I support that also.
Thanks.
But for you to get this moment was very special for me, you know, because it means something. You know, we had a boxer, we've had a basketball player on the podcast, now we have a football player.
Right.
Now, did it go all the way to the NFL? No, but you know what? Like I said earlier, you've reached a plateau where people give up way before you get there.
Yeah.
And now you've extended that into a dream big moment where you are giving it to the kids, where you are giving it to the adults.
Yeah.
You know, you are giving it to people. An inspiration has been set in your mind that you have not let go. Hashtag be encouraged.
Yeah, that is it. Good. I'm glad you said that, man. It's so funny. My wife and her family joke with me. Every time you talk or say something, they're like, be encouraged.
Yes.
And they laugh about it, but you know, you don't know how many people who listen to that,
yeah.
or whenever my boys who hear something like, yo man, be encouraged, right? So that means something. I got that tag from my pastor. He always said it, but I use it because I think that is my livelihood, to encourage people.
And we're solidifying that at this moment right now.
Without a doubt, man. And I'm glad, you know, like you're saying, to be able to have a discussion in regards to us doing this and realize that you don't have to be the big star. You know, that you can go out and do what we need to do and not necessarily have to be that professional. Why? Because everybody doesn't make the professional level.
Right.
You know, and so I think it's up to us, it's up to you, and I'm glad, I totally appreciate this. Words can't even express how much, just hooking up with my boy for one, but being able to tell my story.
Yes.
is a story that needs to be heard, where kids need to realize that just because you didn't make it to the NFL doesn't mean you can't be productive, dude.
Right.
If I don't go to Iowa, I don't meet Carmen. You met my wife today.
Right.
You know, beautiful woman. Don't meet Carmen, don't have two beautiful kids.
What's up, big sis?
You know, things like that, right? So you look at it and say, like, a success happened.
Yes.
You know, was something that I never thought of, you know?
Now let's not say everybody has a story.
Right.
Whether it be you, me, or the next person. We all have a story. So I have enough time where everybody can speak on it.
Right.
You have the experience and you become a seasoned veteran, as they say in sports. But you become a seasoned veteran in your career.
Right.
And you are giving back to the Houston community.
Right.
And now, what do you think as the individual from Passaic, with all the different people, the whole wide melting pot of people that you've come across, where you are the Ricchard Carter now of today, where is it in that moment? Let's just say, you don't have to pinpoint the exact moment, but where did you know that you were that person that was important?
Wow.
And if you don't think you're important, I'm gonna say it.
No,
I have to
I
move for it.
no.
Now, anybody else could sit here with me, and I might call them important, but the history is set. It's been written. So I want to hear that from you.
I think, man, at an early age, I knew that I had a gift, man, right? I was a decent athlete to get to where I got to. But I think I realized that at an early age that God has a plan for me.
Yes.
You know, and I think that plan was to go out and encourage and share all what he's done for me. And I think being able at an early age, whether it was in high school, elementary, right? I mean, you know, man, I remember, you know, us hooking up. I remember you leaving, coming back, and hugging my dude, my boy's back, you know what I mean? And I think I've always been a person, yeah, man, playing slickies back in the day, you know what I mean? I've always been that guy who never looked at, you know, race They
We
never
didn't know
looked
what
at
that
it.
was.
Nah.
The only race we thought was running, and you won every one.
Yeah, that's a good one, good one. So
You won every race. We got pictures and documentation
goodness.
of him winning,
on the dirt track.
and I'm in 7th place.
Too funny, man. But no, I think really, man, I just think that at an early age, I just realized that God wanted me to do something special, man, and to really push the envelope, to bring people together.
Right.
That makes me important, then I'm important. But I think I don't take that lightly.
You know what? The reason I'm not taking it lightly is because it becomes numb. Since I know you, since people know me from Passaic, they see me promote Drink Champ because those are my brothers, those are my love. They see me doing this DreamBIG HipHop, but to me, to them, because I don't really speak to them on a daily, they might just think, oh, that's. I remember calling and for great dancing, or Run DMC, or rehearsing, or just doing anything. The same with you. People that know you but don't converse with me might say, oh, that's Ricchard. You know, I know Ricchard on a different level. So you know what? All those different speculations and facts that they know of us, it's 2018, brother.
Yeah, totally.
It's 2018. We grown men with families and kids that we are showing a different light to ourselves and showing them.
Dude, real talk, man. I think one of the things that people need to realize that we changed.
Exactly.
Right?
Evolution.
And people look sometimes when you hear someone says, man, he changed, like that's a bad thing. Like, dude, if I'm the same person I was back then man, what that say about me? Every day I'm changing. I'm trying to be a better me. I feel like when God allows me to wake up, that means I got another day to get it right. I got another day to inspire. I got another day to encourage.
That's so right.
You know what I mean? And so until that day where there is no waking up, then I'm gonna change every day to be a better me.
Now let's switch the topic for a moment.
Yeah, what you got?
I'm bringing the hip hop level to this.
Okay, give it to me. Give it to me.
As growing up in the inner city and growing up with hip hop, what were your go-to music?
Wow.
As you
so
grew in?
back in my first double cassette CD player, my parents got me for my birthday. I was born on Christmas. They got me to Run DMC. Oh my goodness, what was
King of Rock?
Raising Hell. Raising Hell.
Raising Hell.
And I remember playing it. I remember being able to record it on one tape to the next tape. I remember back in the day when I used to like the girl, and used to have to make the slow tape, and used to pause it in between commercials and get mad when they cut the commercial before you paused it, and it messed up your flow. So like, man, like the Rock with Bell, Radio with LL. I mean, like, I'm bad. Like, that was like my, you know, I mean, having a poster, but then I'm getting you to my soft side.
There you go.
The first concert I ever went to was Michael Jackson.
Ooh.
Back in the Meadowlands.
You saw Mike?
Me and my dad
I see Mike.
bought tickets at the Capitol Theater in regards to getting there. On a Sunday night we went to it, and it was the Victory Tour.
Awesome.
So when I hear the grant, you know, that was, and I appreciate, you know, where we hung out last night because they was playing all the, you know, old school and then the Michael, and you know, so that's me.
You know what? I have to be selfish right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna be selfish.
Okay.
Because alongside, you know, EFN and Northern Drink Champ, we're affiliated with another podcast called Family Ties.
Okay.
And on Family Ties podcast, shout out to Jay Havana. My episode, I said that we went to William Patterson College. And we listened to Special Ed. Now, for those people out there that listen to that, Ricchard was there.
I was there.
Ricchard was there with me. We got beat up by the security. Who was it? We didn't get beat up, but we got tormented in church because we was kids and we was walking out and they gave it to us the last
The
day.
only cat from Passaic going to Passaic, like three of us.
It was only Ronnie was there. Ronnie Gonzalez.
Big shout out.
And they gave us a serious goodbye when we left William Patterson College. I never mentioned this ever in my life, not even to my kids or my wife.
Wow.
But I'm gonna let you say what happened to us on the way out. If you remember.
Hold
Come on.
What?
No?
What?
Alright, you remember we had our bags packed, we're leaving the dorm room, and then the college, what do they call it, the dorm monitors?
The RAs.
The RAs came, the
Yeah.
residents, and then they closed the door, they said, before y'all leave, we're giving y'all goodbye. And one by one, they gave us all wedgies and whoop
I do remember that. Look, you know what? That was a memory, dude, that I didn't want to bring back up. You brought me back to the dark side. I thought I never had to listen to that again. Yeah, dude, we walked out like drawers ripped up, and now, you know, it wasn't nobody touching my drawers ever. I'm scarred for life, you know what I mean?
I do my own laundry, I fold my own clothes.
I don't know if my wife came about it. So no, dude, that was real in the special ed moment. Like, that was so like off the hook. I remember back in the day, down the street from where you lived on Lincoln Street, going to number 11 School Park in the summer, where everybody was there having music and battles.
When you played the second ward and
Second Ward,
timeout.
Second Ward Association, yeah, having workouts at number 11 School Park, where real talk, where kids don't understand that, man, where we didn't have no lights at the stadium. It was, your coach was Pint, right? Probably pulled up his car and turned on the high beam. That was the light. Yep, I had with Coach Art and Coach Frank and Coach Dave, all those guys, man, who really helped shape us, man. Little League really helped us out, man. And those are some good brothers. I think that probably helped too, you know, put in our mind to what we're doing now by giving back, because we saw them volunteering their time and effort coming to practice with their, you know, clothes on and work clothes and still getting at us. Man. I was good for that, dude.
So let's get to this point where I have to say thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to say goodbye.
No, it's never goodbye, bro.
But I want to say thank you for sitting down with us. I want this moment for you to plug whatever you're doing, give a shout out to everybody you want to speak on what it is to have a moment now that you are allowed to speak on and not be pigeonholed. Now, as a teacher, I know you speak to your students. You do seminars. You talk to the people. You know, you talk to the people in church.
Right.
So this is a separate setting.
Right.
So take this on and let's wrap this
man,
up.
Real quick, I just want to say first I appreciate you all, man, for having me here. Reggie Hood in the house, right?
Definitely.
And I need one of the shirts so I can rock them in Texas.
There you go,
look
baby.
that up, you know? But I think one of the big things, man, is that
And you look a little slim, so you wearing a large.
Large, yeah. So I think, man, to be totally honest, man, I think the things that I'm doing in Houston, one of the big groups I work with is Team First and Goal, led by NFL player, one of my brothers, Tyrone Smith, where we go into the community. Follow us on Instagram, on all major, you know, social media pages. Also support my boy Bo Porter. Give him a shout out for all what he's doing in the community. 2 former professional athletes, giving back. And I thank them for allowing me to be a part of that, you know, because you get people who have that status, who can make phone calls to other people who have that status, but then they see someone like me and say, I need him to be part of my team. So the one thing I just really want to say, man, is that whoever has that dream to go out, no matter how big and small you are, encourage these young people, man. Our kids need that. They need that love. They need that support. And I truly believe that we all can make a difference, no matter what color you are, what age you are, what gender you are. Do what God has placed you in your heart to make a difference to where we're at today, man.
That's right. That's right.
Be encouraged, man.
Be encouraged, y'all. That's been Ricchard Carter. He sat down with me, Paul and Donald. Paul and Ricchard. Do y'all hear what I just said?
I like that. Say it again.
Ricchard Carter, Paul and Donald. We was Paul and Ricchard having a conversation. Yeah. Everybody is invited. If you're doing something positive, let me just put that out there.
Well, we got
not everybody can sit down with Dream Big, but everybody is invited to sit down with Dream Big. So salute to everybody. I want to make sure that y'all paying attention to what's going on right now. We're taking this to a different level. This is a different lane. This is not the normal. Like, if as far as a Dream Big moment, as far as athletes and entrepreneurs, right, you know, we don't do sport. We don't do stats. You're not gonna get the scores. You're not gonna get who won the championship. You're not gonna get who won the best out of 5. This is where people, real people that you can touch, that you can relate to, can speak on their success and failures. Right. Some people don't want to speak on failures because they think that's the negative. We want to touch on that. We need to see the cries. We need to see the laughter. We need to see the failures and success, because we all got to grow together. Without doubt. And I want to give a quick shout out. We got time really quick. Is that my boy JP, who's an NFL player for the Chargers, has also had something where he owns his own gym out in San Diego. But we take this all across the world. You know, Chasing Fitness is his place. Then I want to give a shout out to Ty Bradshaw, who's out in Camp Gladiator out in Dallas, changing the world through fitness, making people right. And then got a big following. Yeah. Camp Gladiator is huge, real huge. And then you look at where we got Ricchard Richardson, you know, who's a former NYPD, who's making changes, and now that he's retired, still giving back to the community. And then last but not least, my man Cad River, who's back in Passaic
who's also not only coaching but training kids so that they can become the next whatever.
That's what's
so once again, it's just talking about how kids who are like me or you that had that mindset of just doing whatever it can to make it, but now going back into the communities that they live in and making it even bigger and better. So I wanted to just give them a shout out because those are the boys that.
And so this is a nice little Passaic memory. Let me give a shout out to
Go ahead, man.
Passaic
Go
people,
ahead.
man.
Go ahead.
Shout out to my cousin Fernando Arias. Shout out to Rob Santana, who was a Passaic police officer. And shout out to Larry Christopher, Passaic officer. And last but not least, Edwin Muniz. He's out there in Orlando right now.
Yes, Florida. Oh, my man.
Yeah,
what's up? Give a big shout out to Coach Greer. Yep, Hakeem Ward.
Oh yeah, Marshall Greer, Coach Greer, salute.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing his thing. So, enough and beyond. This is DreamBIG HipHop. We closing down this episode. Ricchard, I love you, my brother. Thank you for coming and sitting down with us. And we're going to do it up. Thank you, everybody. We're going to make this happen. Peace.
Gotta dream big, gotta dream big. Gotta dream big, gotta dream big. Gotta dream big, gotta dream big. Gotta dream big.